Where's my super suit? What? Where is my super suit? Put it away!
There, I referenced the "Where's my super suit" joke, or meme if some people prefer. I'm not happy I did it. I did it anyway just to make people happy. Because pretty sure, I don't know because the video basically is still in premiere at the moment, but pretty sure that people are going to be begging me or demanding to know where is the joke of "Where is my super suit." So, there you go. I made the joke. I hope you all goddamn happy with this. I hope you all pleased the punch of what I did. Just, you happy now? Greetings, kids and nerds, I'm Ladies Universe and White and Nerdy. You might remember that Friday we checked out the Incredibles review since I've always wanted to. Oh, I reviewed the Incredibles because I've always wanted to do it, and you know, I was very happy with the way that I've done it and everything. But then there came a sequel back in, I forget when this came out. 2018. About like 13 years later. 13 to 14 years later. We finally got the sequel that was worth waiting for, The Incredible 2. And does it hold up to the original? I mean, yeah, you got back the original writer and, you know, the original director. You got back the voice cast. John Lasseter was still part of Disney. God, I miss John Lasseter. But everything that seemed to be working out just fine. So does Incredible 2 measure up to the amount of fame and impressiveness that the original did? Well, I am going to say absolutely that this measures up to the fame of the original. Also, too, just like the original, this is kind of an underrated gem because not too many people have talked about the Incredibles movies, which is a damn shame. But this is why I'm here, to kind of bring them back into the light so more people will pay attention to them, and we can probably get an Incredible trilogy. If Brad Bird is watching this, please. But anyways, let's check out and review Incredible 2 and see if it measures up to the original. The film picks up exactly where it left off in The Incredibles, with Mr. Incredible and the team going after a villain known only as the Underminer. And yet, in spite of what they have done, the Incredibles are still held responsible for the damages that they have done, lives that possibly have been lost, and everything else that they put in danger, with the Incredibles forced to relocate. Unfortunately, the life that they had is now had to be technically left behind back at home. But yet, there is hope. Hope in the form of a young man named William DeVore, who just so happens to be a big and ginormous superhero fan, as he wants to live up to the expectations of his father who came before him, his father being a giant superhero fan, even having a hotline directly to fire on, and also Gagerby. William DeVore has to be at least one of my favorite characters in this because he's trying to right a wrong that he knows doesn't need to exist. He's trying to bring superheroes back into the norm because he knows that people need superheroes. He knows that people really need to rely on them. And the fact that he doesn't blame them for what happened to his father really shows how much that he understands why superheroes need to be a part of everyday life and everything. You really do understand that he's not just a giant fanboy over sitting in the corner. He really wants to bring superheroes back into the media, and he also had a very creative way of basically bringing superheroes back by trying to catch a villain who we'll talk about later, who I think is very, very not only creative but also really damn impressive for how they handle it, and I'll get into why. later on. But yeah, aside from Will just being this big superhero fan, he actually has a very ingenious way to be like, well, superheroes are considered illegal. So why don't we, the three of us, four of us, with me included, basically create a plan to get superheroes back? And this is his plan. He plans on using one of the superheroes or one of the variant superheroes that is brought upon the team. And the one that he chooses is none other than the great and amazing Elastigirl.
Sure you do. Just stay down. Oh, man, is she hot.
And so the two basically put Elastigirl, or Mrs. Incredible, up to the amazing task of trying to catch this villain. A villain known only as Screensaver. A person who uses a lot of technical abilities in order to possess the people that look at his screens, he can then possess them. As this villain seems like nothing that the Incredibles has ever fought before in their entire history, so it seems like this guy is a big threat. Why is Screensaver a big threat? What are you doing right now? You're staring at a screen. A computer screen, a cell phone screen, TV screen, any type of screen. You're staring at it right now, at this moment. Screensaver's power is that he uses screens in order to slave and entrap people. That is an ingenious idea because if you stop and think about it, what do people usually spend their time? Either on the internet or in front of their TV. This would make him a very threatening villain if it ever exists in real life. And I have to applaud Brad Bird for thinking up this idea because it is a wonderful and terrific idea for a villain. Like, no one would ever think to do that. And the funny thing is that the screensaver reminds me of the Batman's Riddler, how he kind of is in the same way, and also how in both versions that the Riddler uses other people as to kind of disguise himself among us. Yeah, but the thing is, Screensaver's twist, which I'm not going to spoil here, I didn't see coming, but God, was it worth it. It was something that we needed in Big Hero 6, which really dropped the ball on doing that dramatic reveal. I also love how the film focuses on Mr. Incredible trying his best to do his best while his wife is away, and of course he just failed at doing so, but at least the big guy's trying. And this is where we finally realize that Jet Jack has powers, as Jet Jack is a polymorph that can morph into other different things with multiple abilities. And also, I love the other superheroes created for this movie. They are all very impressive, very likable, very relatable. They are all great. Which, of course, where else should a villain strike but at the best moment, at the best time? At a moment where William tried to get superheroes back in the world and Screensaver fucked him over.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
And also, I gotta give credit where credit is due to Brad Bird for having the teenage superheroes have their heyday, have the light in the sun to save their parents. And without a doubt, this was one of the best moments in the film to watch the kids be what they're supposed to be, superheroes, and having a shining moment in the sun. And I love how even the heroes were like, seriously? The kids saved us? But their parents aren't mad, they're happy at them for what they have done for saving the day, and that is amazing. And finally, the superheroes are no longer illegal. They are finally legal, back in action, and able to do what they are supposed to do, save the world. And very similar to the original, this ends on a cliffhanger that possibly the Incredibles will return eventually in a trilogy film. The Incredible 2 is, pun intended, incredible. And in fact, I think I like this one even more than the original. Even when I went back to watch them before doing these reviews, I'm like, yeah, I think The Incredible 2 might be my favorite. It has the better story, the better villain, and really, all things sincerity, just kind of fits more together than the original. Of course, following the sign of the same structure and category, which one of my biggest fears of going into The Incredible 2 was that it was just going to be a copy paste of the original. And at first I thought that until it later changed and changed for the better. So I'm very glad that I kept my trust in Brad Bird for basically changing the script around. So does this mean that in the third movie that superheroes will be considered illegal again? Well, we'll have to see what Brad Bird has up his sleeve and if he and Pixar can ever team up and make an Incredible 3, they've already announced, which is supposed to be coming either next year or 2027. So there you go. The Incredible 2 is just downright amazing with bringing back that incredible star-studded voice cast, including more so like Phil Lamar being in this. I'm not even kidding. Uh, yeah, great animation, a fantastic villain who I'm not going to spoil here, but that reveal worked so well. But Disney and Pixar really outdid themselves by making one of the best superhero sequels that I have seen, that's the Black Panther Wakanda Forever and the Tom Holland Spider-Man film. So you've measured up, in my opinion, to the Marvel films. Good on you. So my Funko Pop rating of Incredible 2 is it's just downright spectacular, it's just downright amazing, and that sometimes it can be downright pretty much superior to the original. That's why my Funko Pop rating of Incredible 2 is going to get a Spider-Girl. It's fantastic, it's spectacular, it's amazing, and that downright it can be superior to the original, so my Funko Pop rating of Incredible 2 gets a Spider-Girl. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified every single time I make an upload. I'm going to continue about Top Right Nerdy, keep it on. And also be sure to follow me at Twitter with the link in the description down below. And let me know what you guys thought about Incredible 2 and if you are excited for when Disney and Pixar releases Incredible 3, because I'm really excited to see what Brad Bird had next, and hopefully it will be a trilogy just like Toy Story. Is it Toy Story 4 and 5? Oh, you kid, that's so funny. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. So, hopefully that we do get an Incredible 3, and also, who is your favorite Incredibles member? Let me know also in the comments down below as well. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I gave more credit where credit is due to Brad Bird and The Incredibles, because these movies are awesome. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Nerdy, keep it on, and until next time, guys, and as always, take care.